Hi there. Now in this tutorial we'll start the CSS form. I'm going to show you how you can style the input field after you've written the HTML code for our form. So without wasting much time, let's go into our text editor. Alright, we are now in our text editor. So I have to open a folder which I've created already. I've created a folder already. So just come to my desktop. I'll call this form. Call the name of the folder form. So here it is. I'll click select folder. Okay, so our text editor is now open. So just close this out. Close it out and we create our file. The first file we'll create here is the index.html file. So we have index.html. Okay, and now the second file we'll be creating here is style.css. Style.css. Okay, so we'll wait while that load. Okay, now we have our two files ready. So let's get our hands dirty. Okay, so now we'll start by giving it a doc type. Give this a char set of UTF-8. Give this a name of viewpoint. I'll give it a content of width equal to device. That means it should take the width of the device, whatever kind of device you are using. Scale equal to 1. All right. Give this a name also to be description, but we're really not describing anything here. So description, I'll give it a content of let's say form. Just a form. Okay, give this a name of author, give the name of author, and the content will be udev hub. Give this a name of keywords, and this will be keywords, and this will be okay, give you the content of web form. All right, so let's link our HTML before I forget, because I usually do forget. Style sheets, href, have style.css. Okay, and let's finally have a title. Let's say CSS form. Okay, so that's with the headings. That's all we have for the headings. Now let's go to the body. And here the body will put a form inside a div. If you remember what a div is, I told you what div is, and I told you what div is at on HTML. So now we'll put a form inside a div, and we'll create the form tag. So within this form tag, now we'll start creating our form. First, we put a label tag for f name, which is first name, right? First name, right? So we have an input to be text, and the name should be f name, and the ID also should be f name, right? And the placeholder is used to write a text, like a hint of a particular field, what you are supposed to put in a particular field, right? Like, let's go to like this. Now the placeholder here, you see your name. Your name here is written with a placeholder that gives you a hint that, okay, this is what you're supposed to put in this field. Okay, so placeholder, say, let me say first name, your enter your first name. All right, so put a line break, okay. So the next one, put label for L name, which is last name, L name, which is for last name. Okay, and you have input type to be text, and the name to be L name, and ID ID to be name as well, and the placeholder should be enter your last name. All right, so also put a line break, and the next thing we are going to write here is label for let's say okay, let's say country, label for country. So here I'll put country. Okay, you have an input. Oh, sorry. It's a label for country. Now we'll have a list of country that we want to select from. So we are not going to use input for the country, because the country, we have so many country in the world. So we will have a list of country we want to select from. All right, so with that, now we'll use the select element, right? We'll use the select element to give it a name of country. We'll give it a name of country and also give it an ID of country. Okay, now inside this select element, you have another element inside called option. So here with the option, now within this element option, this is where we will now list all the names of the country we want to be present in the form. Okay, option, you have the value of let's say we have Ghana, right? You have Ghana, and let's then just copy this. Let's copy this. Okay, paste, paste. Okay, so you have Ghana, so you can put Ghana here, right? Have Nigeria, so you can put Nigeria here as well. Put Nigeria here as well. Congo, you can put Congo here as well. You have Egypt, you can put Egypt here as well. Okay, have Egypt, you have Chad, you can put Chad here as well. All right, and lastly here we have Canada. You can also put Canada here as well. All right, so now we are done with the select element. So the next thing we will need a button. So the next thing we'll put now, let's put a line break. Let's put a line break, and the next thing we are going to put an input element with the type submit, so that it will help us to bring out a submit button. Now we have the type text here, so let's just change it to submit. Okay, I'll give it a value of submit. All right, now our form is ready. So now let's take a look. Let's go to the browser and take a look. let's see how the form looks like. Now this is how the form looks like. Okay, now we are going to style this form to make it look beautiful, right? We are going to style the form to make it look beautiful. So let's go back to our text editor. And now we go to our we start as CSS stylist. First, we are going to style the input, all the input field. Okay, we are going to style all the input field with the type text. Okay, that means we all style this one at once. We start this one at once. All the input with the type called text. Now by doing that, now this is what we'll do. Input, right? Input, then we'll put the type because we have multiple inputs there, so we don't want to style everything to be the same thing. So that is why we are specifying is that yes, I want to style the input, but I don't want to style all the inputs tag. I want to style only the input that has the type text. So that is what this statement means. Okay, text. So sorry, and also we have aside the input, I want to also style the select element. I want to also style the select element. Okay, so with this now, I give it a width of not auto, let's say I'll give it a width of 50%. All right, give it a width of 50%. Give it a padding. I'll give it a padding top of 12%, 12 pixels. Okay, I have 12 pixels of padding top and a padding right of 20 pixels. Okay, and we have a margin. Sorry, so we have a margin. You have a margin to be a margin top of 8 pixels and the right of 0 pixels. So we have the display should display the inline block, and the border should have a border. It should have a border of 1 pixel solid. I think this is gray, a light gray. I'm not sure. I think this is gray, light gray. Okay, and also it should have a border radius. It should have a border radius of 5 pixels. Border radius of 5 pixels, and have a box size. A box sizing should have a box sizing of border box. Okay, should have a box sizing of border box. So let's see how it looks. Okay, it's coming out perfectly good. Okay, it's coming out good. So after all this, now what next? The next thing we are going to do now we are going to style the input type submit. Understand? An input element with the type submit. Okay, so that is what we are going to do now. That is what we are going to style now. Okay, so doing that, now we have the input with the type submit. Okay, input to the type submit. So input to the type submit, so we'll give it a width of 20%. Give it a width of 20%, and we'll give it a background color. Give it a background color of green. Give it a background color of green, right? Then we'll give it a color, like the text color. No, sorry. We'll give it a text color of white. Okay. Give it a text color of white, and give it a padding. We'll give it a padding of 14 pixels. The top padding of 14 pixels. 14 pixels, and a right padding of 20 pixels. Okay, so after that we give it a margin of the top margin of 8 pixels and the right of 0 pixels. Okay, so we'll give it a border, or let's just give it a border radius. Give it border radius of 4 pixels. Okay, then have cursor gives the cursor to be pointer. All right, give the cursor to be pointer. Now let's see how this looks. All right, now our form is coming out beautifully, right? Now our form is coming out beautifully. So let's go back to our text editor and continue the styling. So now we've styled the inputs. In the input tag with the type text, and we have also styled the select. We have styled the input with the type submit. Now let's we style the input with the type submit on hover. When you hover over the button, when you move your cursor close to the button, what should it do? It should bring out a color that that you are currently pointing at the submit button. So what we are going to do, I'm going to change it. I'm going to give it a style that whenever I am using the mouse to point to the button, it should change to a particular color. So what I will do here now is just put the type to be I'm still styling the submit, right? Still styling the submit. So we give it a pseudo class of hover. Sorry, that was a mistake. Give it a pseudo class of hover. Okay, so after that, now you give it a background. Give it a background of background color of dark cyan, right? And we'll give it a color of give it a color to be white. Right, so now after, let's see how that looks like. Okay, now you see once I'm pointing at the button, it changes color, you see. Okay, so now let's go and style the div. Okay, let's go and style the div. We give it a border radius give the border radius of 5 pixels. Okay, I'll give it a background color. Give it a background color of gray. Give it a background color of gray, and a padding and a padding of 40 pixels. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Wow, now you see how beautiful our form looks. Okay, and for the country, once I click this arrow here, it brings out the other list of country that are there. Okay, so now once we choose, whenever we choose, we can choose any country here. You understand? So now, and having done that, we have finished the CSS form. Now see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.